Act 1, the setup. The text came through at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Hey Cass, can I borrow a car tonight? Mine's in the shop. Again. Lol. I stared at my phone, sitting in my office on the 14th floor of the Riverside Tower in downtown Austin. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I could see the Texas State Capitol building gleaming in the afternoon sun. We'd been working together for 6 years, ever since I'd left my corporate real estate job to start investing on my own. It's my sister, I setting the phone face down on my desk. She wants to borrow my car. Jordan's expression said everything. He'd heard enough stories about Sienna over the years. The Tesla? The Tesla. And you're going to say? I picked up my phone again, fingers hovering over the screen. The rational part of my brain, the part that had built a 7-figure investment portfolio by age 34, knew exactly what to say. No, simple, clear, firm. What's wrong with your car? IDK, something with the transmission? They said it'll be like a week. Please. I have a brand shoot tomorrow and I need to make a good impression. You know how important my career is right now. I almost laughed. Sienna's career as a lifestyle influencer consisted of posting photos of brunch and beach days, sponsored by whatever brand would give her free products. Last I checked, she had about 47,000 followers. Respectable, but nowhere near enough to actually support herself. Not that it mattered. Mom and Dad made sure Sienna never had to worry about trivial things like rent or groceries. Cassidy? Jordan was watching me with concern. You're not seriously considering this, are you? She's my sister, I said weakly. She's a 30-year-old woman who's borrowed your car 3 times and returned it with an empty tank every single time. Remember when she borrowed your Louboutins for a party and came back with a broken heel? That was different. Remember when she borrowed $500 for rent and you saw her Instagram stories from Cabo the next week? I closed my eyes. He was right. Of course he was right. Maybe try Uber? The response was immediate. Wow, really nice, Cass. Guess I know where I stand. Thanks for nothing. I felt the familiar twist in my stomach, guilt mixed with frustration, topped with a heavy dose of exhaustion. This was how it always went with Sienna. Ask for something, get upset when I set even the smallest boundary, make me feel terrible for not giving her whatever she wanted. You did the right thing, Jordan said firmly. Now, let's talk about the Henderson property. I think we should put in an offer by Friday. I pushed thoughts of Sienna aside and focused on work. Real estate had been my salvation, the one place where I had complete control, where my decisions mattered, where I could build something that was entirely mine. I'd started investing 5 years ago with $30,000 I'd saved from my corporate job. Now at 34, I had a portfolio worth over $4 million, with monthly rental income that exceeded what most people made in a year. My specialty was commercial real estate, strip malls, small office buildings, mixed-use developments. I loved the complexity of it, the way every property told a story. And I was good at it, really good. But my family had no idea. 3 days later, my phone rang at 11:32 a.m. Mom, hi, sweetheart. Her voice was strained, artificially cheerful in that way that meant something was wrong. How are you? I'm fine, Mom. What's going on? Well, I hate to bother you at work, but there's been a little accident. My heart dropped. What kind of accident? Is everyone okay? Oh, everyone's fine. It's just... Mom, I told her no. I specifically told her she couldn't borrow my car. I know, sweetie, but her car was in the shop and she had this important meeting and you weren't home and she has your spare key from when you went on vacation last year. Mom, I pressed my fingers to my temples, feeling a headache blooming. What happened? She had a little fender bender. Nothing serious. But your car is, well, it's at the shop now. How little of a fender bender are we talking about? There was a pause. She hit a light pole in the parking garage. She's fine, just a little shaken up, but the car at the front end is pretty damaged. I couldn't speak. My brand new Tesla Model 3, the car I'd saved for and finally bought myself 6 months ago. The first truly nice thing I'd ever purchased for myself without guilt. Cassidy, are you there? I'm here. My voice sounded distant, hollow. Is Sienna there? Can I talk to her? She's resting, honey. She's very upset about the whole thing. You know how sensitive she is. She's upset. She's sensitive. I need to go, Mom. I'll call you later. I hung up before she could respond. Jordan found me in the conference room 20 minutes later, staring at my laptop without seeing it. Cass, you okay? My sister stole my car and totaled it. She what? The whole story came out. How I'd said no. How Sienna had taken my spare key and my car anyway. How she'd crashed it into a pole while probably texting or taking selfies or doing whatever the hell she did while driving. Call the police, Jordan said immediately. That's theft. She didn't have permission. I can't. Why not? Because she's my sister, how? Because my parents will never forgive me. Because it'll cause World War III in my family. I laughed bitterly. Because I'm the one who's supposed to be understanding and flexible and not make waves. Jordan pulled up a chair across from me. Cass, I'm saying this as your friend, not just your business partner. This isn't normal. Healthy families don't work like this. I know. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, you've spent your entire adult life being the responsible one while your sister does whatever she wants and your parents enable her. It's complicated. It's really not. His voice was gentle but firm. You work your ass off. You've built an incredible business. You're financially independent, and you still let them treat you like you're the problem child. I wanted to argue, but I couldn't. Because he was right. My phone buzzed. A text from Sienna. Hey, so the body shop said it's going to be like $45K to fix your car. Insurance should cover it though, right? Also, can you pay for my rental car? It's $89 a day. Thanks, you're the best, sis. I showed Jordan the messages. His jaw tightened. $45,000, he said quietly. And she wants you to pay for her rental car. It's totaled, I said, my voice hollow. If the repairs are $45,000, it's totaled. You crashed it, and now you want me to pay for your rental car? Here we go. You're really gonna make this a big deal? Accidents happen. You're acting like I did it on purpose. You took my car when I explicitly told you no. That's not an accident. Whatever. Mom said you'd be like this. That night, Dad called. Cassidy, your mother tells me you're upset about the car situation. I was in my apartment, a modest 2-bedroom in a nice neighborhood that I'd bought 3 years ago, making dinner. Or trying to. Mostly, I was just standing in my kitchen, phone pressed to my ear, wondering how this had become my life. Dad, Sienna stole my car and totaled it. Yes, I'm upset. Now, honey, that's a bit dramatic. She took it anyway. She made a mistake. These things happen. These things keep happening, Dad. And I'm always the one who's supposed to just accept it and move on. What do you want me to say? That we should call the police on your sister? Ruin her life over a car accident? Something inside me cracked. What about my life? What about the fact that I worked my ass off to buy that car? That I specifically told her no, and she took it anyway. Cassidy Michelle Morrison, I raised you better than this. Why is it only ever me who has to sacrifice and be understanding? Because you're the strong one. You always have been. Sienna needs more support. Sienna needs to grow up. Silence. I'd never raised my voice to my father before. Ever. I think, Dad said coldly, that you need to take some time to think about what's really important in life. We'll talk when you've calmed down. He hung up. I stood in my kitchen, shaking, and did something I almost never did. I cried. Act 2, the escalation. The next week was a nightmare of insurance calls, police reports, and family drama. The insurance company confirmed what I already knew. My Tesla was totaled. They'd pay out $48,000, which was less than I'd paid for it, and nowhere near enough to replace it, given how prices had increased. Sienna's insurance company tried to claim it wasn't her fault, that the pole came out of nowhere. The parking garage security footage told a different story. Sienna, clearly looking down at her phone, drifting across lanes, and slamming into a concrete pole at 20 miles per hour. I filed a claim against her insurance. She called me, hysterical. "I can't believe you're doing this. You're gonna make my insurance go up. You crashed my car, Sienna. It was an accident. Why are you being such a bitch about this?" I hung up. Mom called an hour later. "Cassidy, please, can't you just let this go? Your insurance is paying for the car, right?" "Yes, but then what's the problem? Why do you have to file a claim against Sienna and make this worse?" "Because she should face consequences for her actions, Mom. You're going to ruin her insurance rates. Do you know how expensive that'll be for her? She should have thought of that before she stole my car." "Borrowed. She borrowed it, Mom." I said no. "She took it anyway. That's stealing." "Oh, Cassidy, don't be so dramatic. You know how it is with sisters. You share things. I share when I want to share, not when someone takes without asking." "Well, I think you're being very selfish about this. Family helps family. That's what we do." 2 weeks later, insurance payouts had come through. I had a check for $48,000 and no car. I'd been taking Uber to work and to property showings, which was costing a fortune and wasting my time. My friend Savannah took me car shopping on a Saturday morning. We'd been friends since college, and she was the closest thing I had to a sister who actually acted like a sister. "So what are you thinking?" she asked as we walked through the dealership lot. "Another Tesla? Maybe, or maybe something cheaper. I don't know." I felt exhausted just thinking about it. Part of me wants to just get a used Honda and be done with it. Why? Because if it's not nice, Sienna won't want to borrow it. Savannah stopped walking and turned to face me. "Cass, listen to yourself. You're going to buy a car you don't want because you're afraid your sister will steal it again?" When she put it like that, it sounded insane. "You need to set boundaries," Savannah continued. "Real ones, not just saying no and then letting them steamroll you. I'm trying. Are you? Because from where I'm standing, you've got a sister who stole your car, totaled it, showed no remorse, and is facing zero consequences. And your parents are mad at you for being upset about it. It's complicated with family. It's only complicated because you let them make it complicated." She softened her voice. "Cass, you're one of the smartest, most successful people I know. You've built a multi-million-dollar business from scratch. But when it comes to your family, you act like you're still the little girl trying to win their approval." I knew she was right. God, I knew she was right. I bought another Tesla. Model 3 upgraded package, $52,000, and I didn't tell my family about it. 3 weeks after the car incident, I got a group text from Mom. "Family Beach Week is coming up, July 15th. Can't wait to see everyone. The beach house, our family beach house in Destin, Florida, a gorgeous 4-bedroom property right on the Gulf, worth at least $875,000 now. We'd been going there for family vacations since I was a kid, except it wasn't really our house anymore. It was mine. 3 years ago, my parents had faced foreclosure. Dad's business had failed, Mom had never worked outside the home, and they'd borrowed against the house one too many times. They'd been 60 days from losing it. I'd found out by accident, seeing a foreclosure notice, when I stopped by their house in Houston. I'd paid off their mortgage, all $340,000 of it. But I hadn't just given them the money, I'd bought the beach house from them. They'd needed cash immediately to save their primary residence, and I'd needed to protect myself, to have something that was truly mine, that they couldn't gamble away or lose. My lawyer had structured it carefully. But ownership transferred to me. They'd signed everything, relieved and grateful, and then within 6 months, they'd forgotten, or chosen to forget. They started calling it their house again, making decisions without consulting me, treating it like nothing had changed. I'd paid every bill for 3 years. Property taxes, $18,000 a year. Insurance, $4,500 a year. Over 3 years, I'd put $112,500 into maintaining a house my family thought they still owned. And now they were planning beach week. Like always, sounds nice. I'll check my schedule. Yes, I can't wait. Already planning my content calendar for that week. The light is so good at the beach house. Of course, Sienna had built half her Instagram brand on photos from her beach house. Sunset shots on the deck, morning coffee by the Gulf. Her followers ate it up. My house, my property, my investment, her content. Cassidy, you'll definitely be there, right? It won't be the same without you. I'll let you know closer to the date. The next Friday, I met Savannah for drinks at our favorite wine bar in downtown Austin. I'd just come from a property showing, a small strip mall in Round Rock that needed some work but had incredible potential. "So how's your family doing?" Savannah asked, her tone making it clear she expected drama. "Beach week is coming up. The beach house you own but they think they own, that's the one. Are you going?" "I don't know. Part of me wants to skip it entirely." I took a sip of my Chardonnay. But part of me thinks I should go, try to have a normal family vacation, pretend everything's fine. Why would you pretend everything's fine when it's not? Because that's what I always do. Savannah reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "Cass, you deserve better than this. You know that, right?" "I know. Because I don't think you actually believe it." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. "Dad." "Hold that thought," I told Savannah and answered. "Hi, Dad. Cassidy." His voice was tight, formal. The voice he used when he was disappointed in me. "We need to talk about beach week." "Okay. Your mother and I have decided that, given recent events and your attitude toward your sister, it might be best if you didn't come this year." The world tilted. "What?" "You've caused a lot of stress in this family with your reaction to the car incident. Sienna is still very upset. We think it's best if she has a relaxing vacation without any drama." "Dad, she stole my car. She borrowed your car and you've blown this entire situation out of proportion. We've decided we need some family time without all your negativity." I couldn't breathe. Savannah was watching me with alarm, mouthing, "What's wrong?" "So you're uninviting me from the beach house." "We think it's for the best. Maybe next year, when you've had time to work on your attitude." "My attitude." "Yes, your sister made a mistake, Cassidy. We all make mistakes. But you've turned this into a vendetta. It's not healthy." Something cold settled into my chest. Clarity maybe, or just exhaustion. "Okay," I said calmly. "I understand." "Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're being reasonable about this." "I'm being very reasonable, Dad. I'll talk to you later." I hung up and looked at Savannah. She could read my expression. What did they do? They uninvited me from beach week, said I'm too negative and Sienna needs a drama-free vacation. From the house you own. From the house I own. Savannah's eyes lit up with something fierce. "Please tell me you're going to tell them." "Tell them what?" "That it's your house, that they're uninviting you from your property." I shook my head slowly. "Not yet." "Why not?" "Because I want to see how far they'll take this." The coldness in my chest was spreading, hardening into something like resolve. I want to see exactly how they treat me when they think they have all the power. "Cass." "No, listen. My whole life I've wondered if I was imagining things. If I was being too sensitive. If maybe they did treat Sienna and me the same, and I was just jealous or ungrateful." I met her eyes. "Now I know." Not quite happy, but not sad either. Determined. I'm gonna let them have their vacation. And then I'm gonna have a conversation with my family about boundaries. The week before beach week, I watched the family group chat with a strange detachment. So excited. 5 more days. Ugh, I needed this so much. Work has been so stressful lately. Sienna's work consisted of posting 3 Instagram photos a week and occasionally promoting teeth whitening kits. Weather looks perfect. High 80s, sunny all week. "Sienna, I'm packing that cute beach bag for you." The one we got at Home Goods? Omj, perfect. I want to do a whole photo shoot day on Tuesday. The light on the deck at sunset is literally perfect for my aesthetic. Not a single word to me. Not wish you could be here or will miss you. Just complete radio silence, as if I'd never existed. Jordan found me staring at my phone during lunch on Monday. You okay? They're all texting about Beach Week. Haven't mentioned me once, and you're still not telling them? Not yet. I set down my phone. I want them to be there. Settled in, really enjoying themselves in my house on my dime after uninviting me. I want them to feel safe and secure. And then I'm going to show them exactly who owns the place where they're staying. Jordan grinned. I knew you had it in you. What's your plan? I'm going to drive down on Wednesday. They get there Saturday, so they'll have 4 days to settle in, relax, start thinking they're in control. And then I'm going to walk in with my property deed and have a conversation about respect. Can I just say, as someone who's watched you take shit from them for years, I am so here for this. It might get ugly. It's been ugly for years, Cass. You've just been the only one willing to ignore it to keep the peace. On Tuesday afternoon, Sienna posted her first beach house Instagram story. A photo of her perfectly manicured hand holding a glass of rosé. The Gulf of Mexico sparkling in the background. Caption, finally some RR at my fave place on earth. My fave place on earth? My beach house. The comments rolled in. Your beach house is gorgeous. Living my dream life. Can I move in with you? Savannah sent me a screenshot. Please tell me you're seeing this. Oh, I'm seeing it. You're still going down there tomorrow? Absolutely. Me tempting, but I need to do this alone. But I'll call you right after. I'm so proud of you. Seriously. I kept thinking about every time I'd swallowed my anger, bitten my tongue, been the bigger person. Every family dinner where Sienna's achievements were celebrated, 1,000 new followers, a free PR package, while mine were dismissed. Anyone can buy property, Cassidy. It's not that impressive. Every birthday where Sienna got lavish gifts and I got a 25 gift card to Target. Every time I'd helped them financially and they'd never said thank you, just expected more. I thought about the beach house, how I'd saved their dream retirement property, how they'd signed it over to me and then pretended it never happened, how they were there right now, enjoying my investment on my dime after explicitly uninviting me. Ace Act 3, The Revenge. I left Austin at 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning. The drive to Destin took 9 hours, and I spent most of it rehearsing what I'd say. Practicing staying calm, reminding myself that I deserved respect. My hands shook on the steering wheel somewhere outside Houston. I called Savannah. Hey, how's the drive? I'm terrified. Why? Because I'm about to blow up my entire family. Because after this, things will never be the same. Because maybe I swallowed hard. Maybe I am being too sensitive. Maybe I'm overreacting. Cass, stop. They uninvited you from your own house. Your sister stole your car, totaled it, and showed zero remorse. Your parents chose her comfort over your basic right to respect. You're not overreacting. You've been underreacting for years. What if they disown me? Then they disown you. And you'll finally be free of people who don't appreciate you anyway. Her voice softened. You have a whole life they don't even see, Cass. A successful business. Friends who love you. A future that doesn't depend on their approval. You're going to be fine either way. Okay, I breathed. Okay, call me after. I want to hear everything. I pulled into Destin at 3:47 p.m. The beach house was on a quiet street, 3 blocks from the main drag, with a perfect view of the Gulf. It was a beautiful property. White siding, blue shutters, a wraparound porch, and a deck that overlooked the water. Worth every penny I'd paid. My Tesla was the only car in the driveway. My parents' SUV and Sienna's rental car, which I'm sure I'd be billed for eventually, were parked on the street. I could hear them before I saw them. Laughter from the back deck. The clink of glasses. Jimmy Buffett playing from the outdoor speakers I'd had installed last year. I grabbed my folder from the passenger seat. Copies of the deed, the the mortgage payoff statement, 3 years of bills and maintenance records, all neatly organized and tabbed, and walked around to the back of the house. They were all there, Dad in his Tommy Bahama shirt manning the grill, Mom in a sundress setting the table on the deck, Sienna in a bikini and sarong posing for selfies against the sunset. It would have been a perfect family scene. The laughter stopped. Sienna recovered first. "What are you doing here?" "I came to check on my house," I said calmly, walking up the deck stairs. "Make sure everything's in order." "Your house?" Sienna scoffed. "Mom and Dad's house, you mean?" "No." I set my folder on the patio table, right on top of Mom's carefully arranged place settings. "My house." Mom laughed uncomfortably. "Cassidy, honey, what are you talking about?" I opened the folder and pulled out the deed. The official document with my name on it. Sole owner Cassidy Marie Morrison. This house, the one you're currently standing in, grilling in, and taking Instagram photos in. It's mine. I bought it 3 years ago when you were facing foreclosure. Dad's face went pale. "Now, Cassidy." "You signed the papers, Dad. You were there when my lawyer drew up the sale agreement. You needed $340,000 to save your house in Houston, and I gave it to you by purchasing this property." "That was supposed to be just paperwork," Mom said weakly, "for tax purposes." "No, Mom, it wasn't. It was a sale, a real estate transaction. I own this house. I've owned it for 3 years, and I've paid every single bill." I pulled out another document, property taxes, $54,000 total over 3 years. Insurance, $13,500. Maintenance, repairs, HOA fees, $45,000. I have receipts for everything. Sienna's phone was in her hand, but she wasn't taking photos anymore. She was staring at the documents like they might bite her. "You know what's funny?" I continued, my voice eerily calm. "You uninvited me from my own house. You literally told me I wasn't welcome at the property I own, that I've been paying for, because I had the audacity to be upset that Sienna stole my car and totaled it." "She didn't steal it," Mom started. "Yes, she did." I said no. "She took my spare key and took my car anyway. That's theft. And when she crashed it while texting, according to security footage, she didn't apologize. She asked me to pay for her rental car." "It was an accident." Sienna found her voice. "Why are you still going on about this?" "Because you never faced consequences. Because Mom and Dad protected you, like always, and told me I was the problem for being upset." My voice was rising now, years of frustration finally breaking free. "Because I have spent my entire life being the responsible one, the understanding one, the one who doesn't make waves. And you've spent your entire life doing whatever you want and knowing they'll choose you over me every single time." "That's not true," Dad started. "Isn't it?" I pulled out my phone and showed them Sienna's Instagram. The photos from her beach house. She's built her brand on my property. And not once has she thanked me. Not once have you thanked me. Silence. Just the sound of the waves and the distant cry of seagulls. "I saved this house," I said quietly. "When you were about to lose it, I gave you $340,000. I could have just loaned you the money. But I bought it instead, because some part of me knew this would happen. Knew you'd forget. Knew you'd take it for granted." "Cassidy, honey," Mom's eyes were wet. "We didn't mean to." "Yes, you did. You meant to uninvite me from Beach Week. You meant to tell me I was too negative, too dramatic, too problematic. You meant to give Sienna a peaceful vacation at my expense." I started gathering the papers back into the folder. "Well, vacation's over." "What do you mean?" Sienna's voice was small now. "I mean you have 24 hours to vacate the property." "You can't be serious." Dad stood up, his face flushing red. "This is our family vacation." "It was your family vacation. In my house, which you uninvited me from." I met his eyes, and for the first time in my life, I didn't look away. "I'm done, Dad. I'm done being the one you can treat like shit and expect to just take it. I'm done paying for a family that doesn't appreciate me." "You have until 3 p.m. tomorrow. After that, I'll call the police and have you removed for trespassing." "Trespassing?" Sienna shrieked. "We're your family." "Then you should have treated me like family." I turned to leave, then stopped. "Oh, and Sienna, I'll be talking to my lawyer about the commercial use of my property in your Instagram posts. Pretty sure you need permission from the property owner for that. And you definitely don't have mine." I walked back to my car, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Behind me, I could hear them arguing with each other about me, their voices rising and panicking. I got in my Tesla, closed the door, and sat there for a moment, shaking. And then slowly I started to smile. I drove to a hotel 5 miles away, a nice place right on the beach with a balcony overlooking the Gulf. I checked into a room for 2 nights, ordered room service, and called Savannah. "So?" she answered immediately. "How did it go?" "I did it. The deed, the bills, the Instagram post, the 24-hour eviction notice. Oh my God, Cass, you're my hero. How do you feel?" "Honestly, terrified and guilty." And I paused, checking in with myself. "Free. I feel free." "You should. Do you think they'll actually leave?" "I don't know, but if they don't, I'll follow through on calling the police." I looked out at the sunset over the Gulf, the same view they were probably seeing from my deck right now. I'm done backing down. I didn't sleep well that night. I kept checking my phone, expecting angry texts or pleading calls, but there was nothing. The next morning, I drove by the beach house at 10 a.m. Their cars were still there. I kept driving. At 1 p.m., I got a text from Dad. "We're packing. We'll be gone by 3. I can't believe you're doing this to your family." I didn't respond. At 2:47 p.m., I drove back. Both cars were gone. I parked in the driveway and walked through the house slowly, checking each room. They'd cleaned, made the beds, washed the dishes, even taken out the trash. Mom's doing, probably. She always had to leave places spotless. On the kitchen counter, I found an envelope. Mom's handwriting. "Cassidy, I don't understand why you're doing this. We've always been a close family. Yes, we've had our disagreements, but that's normal. That's what families do. You're throwing away our relationship over money and property, over a car. Don't you see how wrong that is? Sienna is heartbroken. She looked up to you, and now you've shown her that success turns people cold and cruel. I hope you're happy with your house. I hope it keeps you warm at night because you've lost your family." Mom, I read it 3 times, waiting to feel something. Guilt maybe, regret. Instead, I felt nothing. Just a sad, hollow acknowledgement that my mother would never understand, that none of them would ever see me as anything but the problem. I folded the letter, put it back in the envelope, and threw it away. Then I walked out onto the deck, looked at the Gulf of Mexico sparkling in the afternoon sun, and breathed. My house, my life. For the first time in 34 years, I didn't have to apologize for taking up space. F4 resolution 1 year later, I'm sitting on the deck of the beach house, my beach house, watching the sunrise with a cup of coffee. It's early November and the tourist crowds are gone. The house looks different now. I've renovated, making it fully mine. New furniture, new paint colors, new artwork, every trace of family vacation home replaced with my own aesthetic. It's beautiful, and I'm not alone. "Coffee's ready," says a voice from the kitchen. Mark, my boyfriend of 8 months, appears with 2 mugs and his laptop. He's working remotely this week. He's an architect, and his firm is flexible about location. "Thanks." I take the mug, and he kisses the top of my head before settling into the other chair. This is what peace feels like, I think. This easy comfort, this simple morning ritual with someone who actually sees me, values me, treats me with respect. I haven't spoken to my parents in a year. They tried calling a few times in the first month after the beach house incident. I didn't answer. They sent emails, some angry, some pleading, all missing the point. I didn't respond. Sienna tried too. She called me a heartless bitch on Instagram in a now deleted post. Her follower count dropped by 15,000 when people found out the beach house she'd been promoting wasn't actually hers. Last I heard, she'd moved back in with our parents. They sold their house in Houston 6 months ago, downsized to a small condo. I only know this because Savannah stalks their social media for me, giving me updates I don't ask for, but secretly appreciate. Without my financial support, the support they never acknowledged, they couldn't maintain their lifestyle. Dad had to take a job as a consultant. Mom started working part-time at a boutique. I don't feel sorry for them. Maybe that makes me cold, but I've learned that setting boundaries doesn't make you cruel. It just makes you healthy. What are you thinking about? Mark asks, looking up from his laptop. How different my life is now. Better different. So much better. I smile at him. I was thinking about renting this place out, like professionally, make it an income property. That's a great idea. The location is perfect and the house is gorgeous. You could charge premium rates. I've been doing the math. With proper management, I could probably clear $6,000 a month. Do it, he says simply. It's your house, your investment. You should make it work for you. Your house, your investment. That's the difference. Mark gets it. He's never once suggested that I should work things out with my family or give them another chance. He listened to my stories, got appropriately angry on my behalf, and supported my decision to cut contact. His family, warm, functional, genuinely kind, welcomed me immediately. His mom hugs me when I visit. His dad asks about my business and actually listens to the answers. His sister texts me funny memes. This is what family is supposed to feel like. My phone buzzes. Jordan, Henderson property just closed. You're now the proud owner of another strip mall. Congrats, partner. Excellent. Drinks tonight to celebrate? Absolutely. 7 p.m. at Opal's? Perfect. My business has grown exponentially in the past year. Without the constant emotional drain of family drama, I've had more energy, more focus, more creativity. I've closed 4 major deals in 12 months. My portfolio is worth over $6.2 million now. I hired a property manager to oversee my rentals. I brought on 2 employees. I'm looking at expanding into commercial development, actually building properties instead of just buying them. I'm thriving. Everything okay? Mark asks. Yeah. I'm meeting Jordan tonight to celebrate. That's amazing, babe. He grins. You're kind of a badass, you know that? I laugh. I'm learning. Later that afternoon, I get an email from a management company I've been talking to about renting the beach house. They've reviewed the property and are interested in representing it. They estimate I can rent it for $7,500 a month during peak season, $4,500 off season. I sit on the deck, running the numbers in my head. Even accounting for management fees and maintenance, I'm looking at $60,000, $70,000 a year in rental income from a property I bought to save my parents' asses. The irony is not lost on me. I think about Mom's letter, still in the trash somewhere, about how I chose money over family, property over relationships. She got it backwards. I didn't choose money over family. I chose self-respect over abuse. I chose boundaries over enabling. I chose a future where I'm valued over a past where I was taken for granted. The money? That's just the tangible evidence of what I always knew. I was capable, strong, and successful on my own. Without them. That evening, over drinks with Jordan and Savannah, I make a toast. To toxic families, I say, raising my glass, and to the freedom of walking away from them. Here, here, Savannah clinks her glass against mine. Seriously, Cass, you're like a completely different person now. You're lighter, happier. I feel it, I admit. It's weird. I thought I'd feel guilty all the time. But mostly I just feel relieved. That's because you did the right thing, Jordan says. Nobody deserves to be treated the way they treated you. Do you ever think about reaching out? Savannah asks carefully. Like if they apologized? I consider this. A year ago, I might have said yes, might have left the door open, just a crack for reconciliation. Now, no, I say firmly, because they won't apologize. Not really. They'll apologize for how things got out of hand or for the misunderstanding. But they'll never acknowledge what they actually did wrong. They'll never see me as anything but the problem. And you're okay with that? I'm more than okay with it. I'm free of it, I smile. I have a business I love. Friends who actually support me. A boyfriend whose family treats me better in 8 months than my family did in 34 years. A beach house that I can rent out or use or sell, whatever I want, because it's mine. Why would I go back to people who made me feel small? Jordan raises his glass again. To Cassidy. We drink, and I feel a warmth in my chest that has nothing to do with the wine. This is what happiness feels like. 2 years later, I'm back at the beach house for a long weekend. Mark and I are celebrating our 2-year anniversary. He's inside making dinner while I sit on the deck watching the sunset. My phone rings, unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Hello, Cassidy? It's Dad's voice. I just feel neutral. Hi, Dad. Your mother wanted me to call. She's sick. Cancer. Stage 3. I close my eyes. I'm sorry to hear that. She wants to see you. She wants to talk. What does she want to talk about? Cassidy. His voice cracks. She's dying. Can't we put the past behind us? Has she acknowledged what happened? Has she apologized for uninviting me from my own house? Because from where I'm standing, she spent my whole life making me feel like I didn't matter. And now that she's facing mortality, she suddenly wants a relationship? That's not how this works, Dad. She's your mother, and I'm her daughter. I'm sorry she's sick. I genuinely am. But I'm not going to pretend we had a good relationship just to make her final days easier. So that's it? You're just going to let your mother die without seeing her? I think about this, really think about it. If she wants to see me, she can call me herself. She can acknowledge what she did wrong. She can apologize, really apologize, not just "I'm sorry you felt that way." And then maybe we can talk. She's too weak to make calls. Then I guess she's too weak to apologize. I soften my voice slightly. Dad, I'm not trying to be cruel. If Mom wants to see me, she knows what she needs to do. I hang up. Mark appears at the door. Everything okay? My mom has cancer. Stage 3. He sits down next to me, taking my hand. I'm sorry. How do you feel? Sad. But not devastated. Not the way I thought I'd feel. I lean against him. Is that terrible? No. You can't grieve a relationship you never had. We sit in silence, watching the sun sink into the Gulf. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Unknown, this is your mother. Your father told me what you said. You're right. I wasn't a good mother to you. I favored your sister. I took you for granted. I'm sorry. If you're willing to come see me, I'd like to try to make things right. If you're not, I understand. I read it 3 times. Mark reads over my shoulder. What do you want to do? I don't know. Whatever you decide, I support you. I think about everything. The car, the beach house, the years of favoritism. The business, the relationships, the peace. Thank you for apologizing. I appreciate it. I need time to think about whether I'm ready to see you. I'll let you know. It's not yes, but it's not no either. For now, that's enough. Epilogue, 3 years later. The beach house has been fully renovated and is now a successful vacation rental. Last year, it generated $82,000 in income after expenses. I did go see Mom before she died. We had 2 conversations, one where she apologized properly, and one where we just talked about neutral things. She died 3 weeks later. I went to her funeral. Sienna didn't speak to me. But I went because I wanted to, because I'd worked through enough in therapy to know that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and boundaries don't mean cruelty. I still don't speak to Dad or Sienna. Maybe someday that will change. Maybe it won't. Mark and I got engaged 6 months ago. We're planning a small wedding on the beach, not at my rental property, but at a public beach nearby. His family will be there. My chosen family, Savannah, Jordan, and a handful of other people who've proven they actually care about me, will be there. It's not the family I was born into, but it's the family I chose, and that makes all the difference. My business continues to grow. I have 7 properties now, worth over 12 million combined. I'm financially independent in a way that has nothing to do with proving anything to anyone. I'm successful because I worked hard, made smart choices, and stopped letting toxic people drain my energy. Sometimes I drive by the beach house when renters are there. I see families on the deck, kids playing in the sand, people making memories in a place that used to represent obligation and hurt. Now it's just a house, a beautiful, valuable, income-generating house that I own free and clear. And I'm just a woman who learned finally that setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's survival. It's self-respect. It's the best decision I ever made. The end message to readers. If you're in a situation where family members repeatedly cross your boundaries, take advantage of you, or make you feel like you're never enough, please know that you deserve better. You're not obligated to maintain relationships with people who hurt you, even if they're family. Setting boundaries isn't cruel. It's healthy, and sometimes the family you choose is more important than the family you're born into. You deserve to be valued, respected, and loved. Don't settle for less.